Welcome, thank you. So we're going to be talking about using the slide advancer. As I was introduced, it's myself and Sam. Why are we here? We're here to talk about Instaboom Go and an innovative trial that has moved to adoption, and with massive thanks to Reading Council for that work. So we were here a year ago. We entered the Innovator Awards, and I'm delighted to say that we won that award with very much an innovative product that was not quite ready. But so the traffic lines and signs category was what we were awarded. And uniquely, El Krieger put together an award, which means you get some glass, which is lovely, and then you get a trial with some real users, which was amazing. And without feedback from the council, from the boots on the ground, we would have never developed the product as far as we have, as quickly as we have. But just before I go into that, let's talk about why we would use Stop Go, why we'd use any kind of road closure, why we would use any of this sort of technology. It's to prevent incursions and improve safety of the road workers. It's actually quite difficult to talk about incursions in the low-speed network because there isn't an awful lot of tracking. And as an industry, I hope that's something that we can start to tackle. National highways have been gathering this information through AirsWeb for years, and so there's a good set of data to talk about. But an incursion, intentional or unintentional, is an unauthorized entry of a vehicle into a workplace, potentially threatening the safety of the workforce and decreasing the efficiency of movement of public and goods for the rest of the community. The data here is over 5 years, 12,500 incursions over that 5-year period on the high-speed network. And as you can see from the graph there, most of them are intentional. And most of those will be somebody seeking advantage. I don't want to be stopped. I don't want to have to do diversion. I don't want to be told what to do. I'm going that way, no matter what. And that is 75% of incursions. The others will fall into other categories like unintentional. So somebody was lost, confused, or emergency blue light incursions, which are necessary, but much more dangerous because they're generally much faster. So that's the stats from national highways. There's some small numbers and small words, but fundamentally that, showing that the largest number of them are on general works, which is now much more related to what we do as what is done at the local council levels. So on that particular study, there's a sort of heat map of where these things have occurred. 12,500 over 5 years on a 4,300 mile network, motorway network. 200 near misses a month, 450 classed as serious, impact vehicle strikes, blue light incursions. A reminder there, 75% of those are intentional, the worst type to workers. And alongside that, 38 people killed in the UK over a year period because of moving vehicles at work. So this is a serious issue. But I think what's more serious is that outside of the high-speed network, we don't really know how many incursions are really occurring on a regular basis. So if I backtrack on some of those numbers and do some maths, it works out at 0.58 incursions per mile per year, and then multiply that back up to nearly 250,000 miles of road network in the UK outside of the high-speed network. We're probably looking at about 142,000 incursions a year, most of which are probably untracked, unmonitored, and unknown. But you will probably all know people who have suffered that, whether it's be verbal abuse or physical abuse, or actually being struck by a vehicle, or worse. So it's an issue in the United Kingdom, and as a local authority network, to begin to find a way of collating that information outside of national highways, who do a great job on a small part, would be a push that we would love to see coming. So it gets back to reality. What are we talking about? Talking about Stop Go. It's a regular procedure for all sorts of reasons. The Red Book covers it very well. And the Red Book is there to talk about how utility companies and highways authorities can safely carry out signalling and lighting on street works that they have to do. Page 51 very specifically talks about the layout of the Stop-Go procedure. The Red Book is also nearly 10 years old, 11 years old. It's currently undergoing a rewrite. Local councils, I urge you to get involved in that process. Because what the Red Book doesn't maybe cover in any particular detail is the sorts of things that you guys have to tackle every single day. What do we talk, or how does it talk about rolling works, pothole repairs, gully clearing, temporary works, utility works, attending road traffic accidents? The sorts of things that you may not know, or your crews won't know, what they're going to this afternoon, let alone tomorrow. Is it a nice, clean 30-mile-an-hour one-way street, or is it a bit more complex? Doesn't really matter because they have to deal with it. So as a body of councillors, to start to get involved in that process and somehow try to get your real world accepted and accommodated. But it's all about protecting staff and keeping them out of the road, fundamentally. And if we can do that job with less staff, it means there's less risk, less cost, and less carbon of deployment. So the particular project we had last year at the Innovation Awards was a very early prototype stop-go machine. I happen to have brought some along. They're very simple. It does exactly what it says on the tin. They operate in a connected way, so it's not possible to have two goes, but an operator can now run connected stop-go boards from remote control from the safety of the side of the road, or even better, his cab. You're probably only sat here because it's quite cold and wet outside. But that's going to be the same for the operator. And now you have one operator. And I think what I'm hearing more and more, and what I learned from spending time with Reading Council, is that they have a work to do, but often there's a whole other crew who are just looking after the traffic management behind them. If the traffic management can be operated by the crew who are doing the work, there's a reduction in cost, there's a reduction in labour, there's a saving to the taxpayer, and there's an improvement of safety to the staff who are on the road. So we worked with Reading Council, and one of the things they pointed out, it's all well and good having stop-goes, which work, which is great, and they're lightweight and they're solar powered, and they need to charge them once a week, even if the sun doesn't come out. And they're useful for the crews. They've got a phone charger and a vape charger on the side, just in case, and a voltmeter that's useful. But they also pointed out that without the signage, no good. And we've worked with them to come together with some really collapsible little bags. So everything you see at the front of the stage there will fit in the back of a small van or large estate car. So one person can take everything they need to be able to meet what is laid out in the Red Book that they need to do. So we had the trial with Reading. It was fantastic. They were engaged. They gave us feedback. They told us what they hated, which was the most important thing for me to hear, because that's the stuff we changed. And they used 2 pairs of units across 4 gangs over about a 3-month period, and they found that the rapid deployment, the solar-powered nature, the longevity of being able to use them twice a minute on an 8-hour shift for a whole week before even worrying about the charge. The remote control was simple and rugged and waterproof and all the things they needed. And the interconnectable nature of the boards meant it worked well, it was adopted well, and I'm really glad to say at the end of the trial they moved swiftly to purchasing and decking out at least 3 emergency response vehicles with a small kit that allows them to do the job. And that's probably enough about me and the product. Let me bring on Sam, because Sam's the man who made it happen. So tell us about your experiences, Sam.
Whoops. Thanks, Neil. I mean, the product speaks for itself. Let me just tell you about Reading. Reading, we love a little bit of innovation. But firstly, it started here at Elk Creek. If it wasn't for Elk Creek to bring suppliers to the councils who are their clients, in a festival like this, for us to look at it, touch and feel and see how it works, it would never happen. So the third year I've come to one of these festivals, and every year I go away with something new and innovative to bring back to Reading. And what we want to do in Reading, we want to use something that works for us. This is one of those systems. But just looking around here, we've worked with Mion. We've now bought a fully electric road marking machine for them, and Danny's out there refreshing everything in sight in Reading using M&A, all through them. We got Velocity. We've done some trials with them with using rhino felt, and we're now going to go out with a massive program on rejuvenation. We've done work with Multivo and Keeley Brothers, and ITIP handles, the guys outside with these ITIP handles, all of those things. But what we want to do is we want to bring it back to Reading as business as usual. So we've got our own commercial ambition. We've got an old DLO type setup, and we want to keep what we can in-house on the smaller works particularly. So our roads are in great condition. We've fixed a lot of them, but we still got to fix potholes. We've still got maintenance, statutory work to do. And we're an urban environment, so this system for us is ideal. It's easy to deploy, and I have literally got one less person on site. That one person makes that statutory work cheaper. That extra body goes off to my commercial team to improve their productivity, and it has a knock-on effect. Not only do I save £300 from the statutory works, they're actually boosting my productivity on my commercial works elsewhere. So it's a win. And I'm really proud of my highways team, my frontline team. Our budget is minus 450 grand. We're income generator for the council. So trying in this kind of unit is great. So you won your prize last year. Well done. You're looking for someone to do it. Phone up Reading, and we're dead keen. And it's worked. And I'm so pleased about the feedback of my frontline staff. They are engaged. I've got quite a young staff for a DLO. They're quite young, and we promote a lot of training and innovation with them, and looking to improve things. So that has worked really well for us, and it's worked for Sodagates. I'm so pleased that they've taken on board the comments and they're driving it forward. So not only has they improved a safety for us, having the operative out the road, brilliant. They've also less staff on the road. We've even now bought the kit that we were trying, and we bought it outright. We're using it on a daily basis. But not only that little kit bag that we talked about, which also came out of Reading, we've already bought a couple. One for my drainage call out, and one for my highway works call out. And then what they do is they're going out there without having to come back to the depot and get a truck with all the signs and the sandbags. They're straight to site, cutting out loads of time, making it much more efficient. So I'm a believer that when something works, make it business as usual. And that's what we try doing in Reading. So thanks, Neil, for choosing Reading, come to Reading, and we're really pleased. And as I said, this sliced bread was good. This is just even better.
No, it's been great. So yeah, Sam, I couldn't ask for a better endorsement. I couldn't ask for better people to try an innovation with and to tweak an innovation. There is a line in the code called Luke mode, because it was Luke who told us about a thing that would really help his crews. And we put it in. It was a software thing. It saved someone running about 600 meters on a deployment in the rain. And actually, it was really simple for us to do. And that's the feedback gold dust. So thank you to yourselves, and thank you to Owl Creek for the chance. If you want to find out more, Sodagates, I've got all this equipment on display, approximately 13 meters that way. So by all means, get some more information from the team. And I'm really proud to say this is designed, conceived, manufactured in the UK. But more importantly, it's designed, conceived, and manufactured by our team of misfits who fit. And when I say misfits, what I mean is a third of the Sodagates team are either ex-addicts or ex-convicts. And we're really proud of that, because it changes the way we think, the way we work, the way we innovate, the way we live on the edge as a company. It also possibly means that the other 65% just haven't been caught yet, but we'll come back to that. So it's a great team. We pull things together well, but without feedback of a real world, boots on the ground trial, none of this would have been possible. So I think that probably sort of brings us to the end. Are there any questions? Then we're all good. Thank you. Yeah.